Welkom terug. Ons bespreek die toekoms van winkelsentrums en die betekenis vir besighede in Suid-Afrika. By my is Armond Boshoff, die uitvoerende hoof van Atterbury, en ook Mike Freedman, Besturende direkteur van Freedthinkers, sluit via Skype by my aan. Mike, welcome to your first time on WINSLYN. I'm going to kick off with a very loaded question, but do you think we've reached the end of a mall culture?
Well, first, thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Divan, and I think there's an end and a beginning. I'd say a transition. Why I say a transition is, I think we are going towards the end of the shop till you drop culture. Partly because we can't afford it, we're broke. Partly because online is gathering steam, especially because of the pandemic. And if you see online right now, they're fighting for market share. Every day there are new sales. So why I say transition is, I think there is going to be the rebirth of a community culture in malls, in the suburbia. There are very few places to meet. Where do we meet? Maybe parks. Are they safe, the weather? But malls are about the only place that people can meet. And people have forgotten that. In fact, the original mall, which was in Minnesota, was created with that very insight. And they had, the plans were below. There were 2 floors below. There were going to be things like public libraries, various other civic services. But right near, just when the plans were being made, a couple of department stores said, we'll take the space and we'll give you more.
Yeah.
And department stores are now on the wane. The big fashion stores, I think, are in problems. But there is an opportunity. But it takes new kind of thinking from everyone.
Absolutely.
From the banks, from the malls.
Absolutely.
Everyone.
Mike, you're talking about this absolutely ideal mall where it's the center point of every community. All malls, we know that for a fact, do not operate in that way. Do you think there's certain malls that are really in trouble?
Yeah, I do. I think there's big trouble, medium trouble, little trouble. The convenience malls, which are where you pop in for your eggs and milk, your panados, they're not going to have huge trouble. They'll still be needed. They provide a vital day-to-day service. You can get some online, but you're probably not going to. I've got to pop out for some stuff. The medium malls are going to be in big trouble, or a lot of them. Again, it's not one size fits all. Some medium-sized malls serve their community well, like Lucia. The mall does pretty well because it is a meeting place for the community. Many others, I think, are going to have a problem, where you'll see major fashion stores leaving. A lot of restaurants will be leaving. The fashion stores will focus on the super regionals. The super regionals, if they change, they're in medium trouble. They've got to change a lot. Someone said, take the roof off Sandton City. It's that kind of change that the big hyper-regionals need, but the super regionals need, but they should be probably okay.
Yeah.
The medium ones have big problems.
Absolutely. Armond, nou, julle bou hierdie winkelsentrums en ek is seker in die laaste tyd van COVID koop ons almal baie meer aanlyn. Hoe gaan dit julle wêreld verander?
Ek dink Divan ons 2 goed. Mike het daarna verwys. Die een is verbruikers wat nie meer winkelsentrums toe kom nie as gevolg van die feit hulle bankrot is, dat daar nie meer spending power is nie. Ek dink dis die een ding en die ander ding is aanlyn aankope regtig 'n tendens wat posvat in Suid-Afrika op hierdie stadium. En ek dink mens moet onderskeid daaroor tref. Ek dink ek stem saam met Mike dat winkelsentrums op 'n groot mate is 'n mense soek vermaak. Mense wil kom, hulle wil 'n koffie geniet saam met vriende, hulle wil ietsie eet en so bo en behalwe die feit dat hulle wil gaan pille koop en kos en so aan. So ek dink dis belangrik vir ons en vir die eiendomssektor om die regte, ek gaan dit nou mix of mengsel van winkels binne in 'n winkelsentrum te doen. Ek dink die gemeenskapsfaktor is baie maklik. Jy weet, mense wil op pad huis toe vinnig stop en 'n koffie drink of vriendinne ontmoet iewers by 'n plek waar dit gemaklik is en lekker is om te ontmoet en ek dink dit is 'n ding wat ons gaan moet regkry. Ek dink in Suid-Afrika, jy weet, of aanlyn aankope van 1% of 4% wat dit nou is na oor oorgrote meerderheid is soos wat dit in ontwikkelde lande is. Ek is nie seker dat dit so gaan gebeur nie, maar ons moet seker maak dat ons ook aanpas en dat ons seker maak die mense kom na die winkels toe waar hulle daai interaksie nog steeds gaan kry.
Mike, Armond refers to this idea around blended retail, that we have to offer the consumer something new, or maybe something that it used to be. You also refer to blended retail. How do you see this blended retail panning out?
Well, first, it's already happening. Whether you, and some people argue that I look online, I shop in store. Others say it's the opposite way around, and in fact it is, it's both. It's going to be blended. And so blended retail is what we're doing. And as the internet becomes more pervasive, as it becomes less expensive, that'll happen more. There'll be things like click and collect. There'll be lots of different opportunities. But again, going back to the first point, it's not about blended retail, it's about a blended experience.
Yeah. Armond,
that's what we're going to go for.
Absolutely, thanks Mike. Armond, nog 'n probleem is dat groot winkelsentrums en groot eienaars in winkelsentrums forceer kleiner spelers in 'n 5 jaar huurkontrak in. Is dit nie eintlik die probleem nie dat ons heeltemal te tradisioneel kyk steeds na hoe winkelsentrums bestuur word en dat ons eintlik nie klein spelers 'n geleentheid gee om in die mark in te kom nie. Is dit nie 'n probleem nie?
Ek dink nie noodwendig is die probleem om mense in die winkelsentrum te kyk. Ek dink ons moet 'n stapie terugvat en dink wat is eiendom? Okay, eiendom is 'n langtermyn belegging. Ons spandeer kapitaal vir 'n langtermyn doelwit. Ek meen ons bou nie 'n winkelsentrum wat oor 'n jaar terugbetaal word. Ons bou dit oor 10, 20, 30 jaar want dit is 'n vaste belegging wat 'n verskil kan maak in die gemeenskap en daai bate en die las wat daarby sal of die kapitaal wat jy investeer moet op een of ander manier terugbetaal word. Nou, jy weet ons kan debatteer oor of daar meer flexibility is in terme van of jy deel in inkomste van die huurder ensovoorts, maar ek dink op hierdie stadium, jy weet, is dit hoe eiendom funksioneer oor 'n langtermyn tydperk en jy moet die inkomste daar volgens jy weet match.
Yeah. Mike, there's been big criticism for big malls that they don't really give small business the opportunity to actually, come into retail space. It seems like there's this resurgence where malls are realizing that, yes, we actually need these smaller entrepreneurs. Do you think that's the case?
I think they need them, and I think, again, you've got to look at the whole system. Typically, a mall developer is looking to a bank for a loan to finance it. The bank looks at, the big national retailers and think, oh, you've got them, good, yeah, we'll do this financing. Now you've got a lot of smaller ones that the bank doesn't know. So they're going to do research into every one of those. Are they going to give the mall developers good terms? So if the whole system can come together, and there'll be opportunities now because there could be permanent pop-ups. Spaces that are vacated can become pop-ups at 3 months, 6 months at a time. So you can try out new concepts.
Yeah. Armond,
but you've got to get the banks happy.
Absolutely. Armond, ons moet natuurlik winkelsentrums bou vir die toekoms en vir nuwe millennials. Hoe lyk winkelsentrums? Sê byvoorbeeld as jy 'n visie het, ek seker jy het as Atterbury ook oor 5 jaar, hoe anders gaan dit lyk?
Ek dink dit gaan oor die experience, oor wat die shopper kom kry as hy by die winkels. Ek meen hy moet nog steeds eet, hy moet nog steeds sy pille kry, maar hy wil ook, jy weet, 'n lekker ondervinding hê in daai ding vir vermaaklikheid. So ek dink wat ons probeer doen is om die unieke ondervinding te skep vir die ou wat winkelsentrum moet kom, maar ook om bietjie van 'n mengsel of van 'n aanlyn verkope tipe aspek in ons winkelsentrums te doen. Ek meen ons praat nou met 'n groot aanlyn verkoper om dalk 'n pick-up point of 'n click and collect tipe fasiliteit in ons winkelsentrum te hê. So dit hoef nie die een of die ander te wees nie, maar hoe integreer ons dit toe dat jou mense wat nog steeds in 'n winkelsentrum toe kom die ervaring het, maar ook die gerief het wat hy sou gehad het as hy aanlyn sou inkopies doen.
Dankie vir julle tyd, hoor. Dis alwaar vir ons vanaand tyd het. Baie dankie dat jy saam ingeskakel het. Onthou om ons op sosiale media te volg indien jy dit nog nie doen nie. Tot volgende week, gesond bly en hou asseblief mekaar positief. Goeienaand.